Check 1, 2. Good morning. Almost didn't turn the mic on. Well, I didn't turn the mic on. You just heard me check it. All right. Good morning. I hope all is well with you. And yeah, it's Friday, man. Let's get rid of this stupid thing. There we go. Let me change something here, and we'll get to talking. I'm feeling kind of fired up today. Those of you who don't know about my other channel, please subscribe to it. Let me highlight it. It's right there. It's got my pretty face right there. And I talk about things that I probably shouldn't talk about, but I also talk about things that are important. And I also talk about my personal triumphs and failures, because I have failed. And I might just yet. You never know. That's not negative. That's so you got to look at failure as a positive thing, not as a negative thing. There's a difference between failing and being a failure, right? There's a difference. What's the difference? Well, if you fail to act and change and pivot from your failures and failure to learn, that is when things get tough for you, right? So, you don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to be good. You just have to be better than you are before. So, anyways, I'm fired up about all that, right? I'm fired up. I'm feeling pretty good. I've been fasting, doing the fasting thing. I'm eating about 22, 23 hours. Like, I've been eating like only every 22 to 23 hours. And right now I'm on, I switched it up. I ate a big lunch at noon yesterday, or at 1 o'clock. And as of right now, I'm at, what's 5, 6, 7. So I'm at 18 hours right now. So I'm feeling pretty good. Probably have dinner with one of our drivers, lunch or dinner. We haven't decided yet. I'll be looking for a load for somebody, I think, if they don't find it for themselves here after I get off here. So this won't be a super long. It won't be like a 3-hour, let's talk about everything kind of deal. This will probably only be an hour. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling fired up. I'm feeling like my old self of 2 years ago when I lost a lot of weight, a lot of clarity was coming in. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. At Matt's, I think I came home weighing about 294 to 290. Well, actually 296 to 298. I'm down to 281 today. So it just shows you how sensitive I am by eating wrong and drinking. So I'm officially calling it. I'm off the alcohol completely. Not that I had a major problem with it, just a couple of beers and a couple of drinks on the weekends, but even that was enough to kind of throw off my my mojo. So with that being said, I appreciate every single person that's in here and that will be in here and that will watch the replay. I also have a channel to promote because I believe this guy is a good guy. It will be Scorpion Trucker. So if he shows up in here, I will highlight his comment and you can subscribe to his channel. Let me see if I can find it here. And then I'll post it on the screen with the link and everything. You guys can check it out. I binged. He put up a bunch. He didn't put them up, but he's doing what a lot of people start a YouTube channel and they ask for advice and I give it to them. Then they don't take it. Then they wonder why their channel struggles. Well, I told you not to do that. I told you to do it this way. And he is literally taking everything I've said to heart, which is cool. Not that I'm some be all end all. I've only got 3,000 subscribers or something. But what happened is, and I watched a lot of videos. I'm going over my history here. So let me pause that here. You watch a lot of videos when you go to your history in it. So, anyways, it shows no content yet, but he'll be releasing videos pretty soon. Let me put the link up because you can't find its channel so new you can't find it in a search. So let me do this, and there you go. I want to promote Scorpion Trucker there. Promote Scorpion Trucker there. Looks like my internet's struggling a little bit today, so hopefully there's you guys are actually watching it. So, anyways, let's remove that. Good morning. I hope everyone is well. You got your coffee. We've been drinking this Dunkin' Donuts flavored coffee, and it's like, yeah, I'm not a big dark roast fan. It tends to sour after a while. So, and I've cut down on my coffee quite a bit. I think after the third cup, I go to green tea, which seems to be better. It's helped my cortisol levels drop because that's part of the struggle that we all have, especially as truck drivers, is your cortisol levels are all jacked up. I talked about this on my live feed yesterday on the other channel. And it's hard to make good decisions. And right now, especially if you're running the spot market, it's a very stressful time right now. And it can be maneuvered through if you can just keep your head on your shoulders. Well, that's harder to do when you're not eating right, sleeping right. Your cortisol levels are jacked up, and you're hopped up on dopamine from that monster drink, that bad TikTok, and that luscious plate of Popeyes. That's hard. That's hard to do in those conditions. And I know I at least described one of you to a T, right? How many times do your dispatcher says, "Hey, you got to load. You got to leave at 3 a.m. this morning, or you got to leave now," and then you deliver at 4 a.m. And so what do? You go in the truck stop and you buy all the monster drinks and a bag of hot chips, and to keep you awake, and then you roll, right? I'm sure one or two of you in the 38 people that are here have done that. Well, you're actually only making it worse. So, anyways, enough of my soapbox crap. Let's get with the comments here after I get a sip of coffee. All right. And if you check out Scorpion Trucker, he doesn't have any content up yet, but he will be releasing videos soon. So, and that's all I will reveal. CB, what's up? Good morning. Matt K, good morning. I will touch base with you after this live feed. My name is Nobody. Good morning. Old school, new school, just getting into Amarillo. Amarillo by morning. You got there by morning, man. Congrats. Too early for the Texan. Well, no, the Texan don't they have breakfast now? Or did that? I know the Texans still exist. I know the vid didn't take them out, but I don't know if they still have breakfast or if they acquired breakfast or what. Alfalfa, good morning. Guitar, yes. Trucker Seals, good morning. Jose, good morning. Buck Brown, you're back. Only took 2 months to get in-frame done. Well, I feel your pain, man. I do. That's the worst part. Truck repairs are a double whammy, right? Number one, it takes too long, and number two, it costs out the butt, right? So you're looking at, oh, what do you mean it's $20,000 and I got to wait 2 months or whatever it was for you? That's a huge hit that a lot of people can't really recover from. So if you can recover from that, Buck Brown, God bless you, man. God bless you. Orion, what's up? What up? TKM Express LLC, good morning. Orion says 1 TM in Snorelord camp. I have no idea what that means. Good morning, Steve. Big carrier requirements came down from my head office yesterday. How agents select carriers for high value freight also came down, all because of scammers and insurance companies. Let's talk about that. Let me finish my comments here, and we'll remind me to get back to that because I have some insight on that. Pigtail, good morning. Glad to see you, my friend. Your Snorelord hoodie, wow. Big spender, CB. Thank you very much. I hope you like it. I hope it keeps you warm, especially for the oncoming summer. And I hope that I hope you like it. I updated the merch, by the way. I'm gonna do my corporate whoring now. I updated the merch. There is travel mugs now. There's stickers now. There's a whole slew of things, and I improved the shorts. Like anybody's gonna buy those, right? But check it out. It's in the description. Trucker Bill, good morning. There's me on Facebook telling about things. There we go. Josh the Vegan, 4.59 sub, Steve. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Let's see here. What's the exact number? Let's see. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing here. Do. Let's see what the real number is. It showed 45.99. It's funny. I was at 46, and then I'll drop down to 45.95. It's like there's 5 people that can't decide what they want to do, which is cool. That's great. I probably said something to people are easily offended. Who knows? Or maybe they just think I'm boring, or they just wanted to subscribe long enough to make a comment. That was it. Anyways, I appreciate everybody. All 4,599 of you. Almost 5K. My goal is to get up to 5K by the end of the year. If everybody can help me with that, that would be great. These changes make it harder and harder for the one carrier MC numbers. Why changes to protect agents from being sued? Our broker insurance found loopholes and said our agents were not protected as thought. Wow, a lot of changes in your mailbox this morning. Todd, what's up? Good morning. Orion, wait for a friend that's passing through here at Brahms and Edmond. Good deal. G Star, good morning, Mr. Snorelord and everyone. Greetings from Dublin, Ohio. Tip, nursery loads are booming here in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky. That's all I've been doing lately. G Star, ride that train until you're sick of it and then ride it some more. That is my advice to you. Because the things that I'm seeing, man, is not it's challenging. I will say that. So I hope that you're enjoying it. I hope you're making money. Ride that for as long as you can stand it and then ride it some more. You want to be seeing nursery loads in your head when you sleep and then do it some more. PRTV, what's up? If you guys don't know, that's Pale Rider. He has changed his name to PRTV. What's up, my friend? I will be mailing your barbecue sauce today, probably. So I'm going to have someone else pack it. So if it comes broken, then don't blame me. But hopefully I'll get that taken care of today. That sounds like one of those weird war codes. The barbecue sauce will be sent today. Like people like, what the hell are you talking about? We weren't as fat as or as tired as when they let us buy White Crosses at the counter. Yeah, mini thins, right? I remember mini thins. I wasn't a driver during the mini thins era, but there was one time I took some, the legal kind that you got in the store. Don't get your all panties in a wad. And I was working this factory. I had to wash out empty transmission cases. It was a lovely job. And you put them in these metal like round racks, and then you had to stack them with a hoist to put them in this machine that washed them. And I had been doing a lot of I was helping a local band out, so there was like a lot of local shows that were going on weekdays, which kind of sucked. Because because the local bars, you got to play until 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. I mean, so and I didn't drink or anything, and so I was putting one of the racks up on a hoist, and I instantly almost fell asleep right then and there. It wasn't passing out; it was just me like the mini thing had worn off, boom, like that. Never touched him again. Never touched him again because that was dangerous. And so it's probably good that they don't they don't they don't well, I mean, people that's what happened in Oklahoma and Missouri. People bought those by the truckload and made meth out of them. So that's some bad stuff. Trucker Bill got you a tumbler. Got you a tumbler Snorel. Yes, there is a tumbler. So you're setting the bar. There's a wine tumbler and a travel mug. You're setting the bar too low. 7,500 subscribers by year end. That would be great. But I don't know. Maybe I need to be more positive. You're probably right. I want to be up to 7,500. If you guys can make that work, that would be awesome. Share out, but I know sometimes, doing nothing but live feeds, I got to do more recorded videos. I know what I need to do. I just haven't been able to execute that yet. So, PRTV says, cool, thanks. You may remember it was March last year. I got this truck to help a friend out that got cancer. I'll hopefully be able to recover from this fairly soon. Good deal, Buck Brown. Good deal. Thankfully, I've been taking your advice over the last few years. Excellent. Excellent. Good to hear it. Great stories with great progress is a great thing. 1 million by the end of the month. Well, that's being a little bit silly, Josh. If I can be look, if I can be up to 1 million subscribers, my problems are solved. So I won't be relevant anymore because people are like, well, you got 1 million subs, you make $80,000 a month in YouTube. You can't talk about trucking. You don't know anything. And then I lose all my content. Then I lose all my followers. And then I struggle. It's an endless cycle. So we don't want that, Josh. We don't want that yet. But it brings me to the title of this video, and then we'll get into the low board stuff, the stuff that you're really here for. Um, be more. If you want more, be more. If you want, Hatebreed has a song. If you want to change the world, you got to start with yourself. I know things are challenging right now, and there's a lot of people making blanket statements. I made a blanket statement in my live feed yesterday. Let me reply to this text here. Then send an email real quick. Driver is empty. I had a driver had to be in New York today, and man, he kicked butt. Hit reply all. Is empty. Sorry, work calls. Driver is empty. POD soon. Send. Take this email. Forward it to the driver. Oh, looks like he already did. Sweet. Man, this driver's on it. Excellent. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Here, let's do this. Download the POD. Forgive me, please. I apologize. So now we'll do this. Hit reply all. Reply to all. Pod attached. Thank you. Let me know if you. I'm a slow typer. Need anything else? Have a great day. All right, attach what I just scanned. Open. Man, my internet is just being stupid today. Well, while that's loading, we can go over the comments here. I need a load out of Reno area, not going to California dry van. Any ideas of where to deadhead to? Well, if you're avoiding California, that's going to be a challenge. But we'll take a look at that, Josh. We'll take a look. Send. There we go. Driver, if you're watching, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. CB, what's up? Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I hope you enjoy your hoodie there. Postage subsidiary. Okay, thank you, Pigtail. Thank you. All right. So let's go over the 123 low board here. Now we're also going to look at that. We're going to, oh my gosh, why would you do that? Well, everybody uses the DAT, and we would love more people to use 123. But I want to look at the volumes because I was looking at volumes on the DAT board yesterday, and I was like borderline like freaking out. I guess freaking out's a strong word because you know to be stoic, you got to be in control of your emotions. You don't want to be emotionless, but you want to be in control. And I'm like, wow, that sucks. So, um, I guess the important part is to remain positive. So let me get this screen up here so I don't make the same mistake I've made in the past where I'm telling you about loads without showing you the board. There we go. 123 low board. Let's do Reno. Reno Niv. Let's see. Let's do a 500-mile radius for today. Van search. There's a load right out of Reno going to Linden, New Jersey. $1.42 a mile. That's the top one right there. Let's see. That's an 8-hour old load though. Let's do it by the age of the posting. Ogden, Utah to Memphis, which was rated in the number one city to most dangerous city to drive through right now. The average isn't pretty good about that. Here we go. Another California though, going to Jamesburg, New Jersey. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a lower search radius. Because here's one of the things that's cool about the 123 low board. So you'll scroll down and then they have similar loads, which will be beyond your radius that you've set up. Right. So and then there's a clear line, right? So you can look, well, there's not a whole lot here, but then when you go to similar loads, then there's quite a bit. And a lot of them will be the dates too. The dates will be different, like maybe you can afford to wait and leave out tomorrow because there's something that's perfect that's happening tomorrow. So when both these lists are low, you know that that's probably not going to be favorable to you. But as you can still see, it's still loading with this little circle. See, and you're going to see loads disappear as they disappear. So here's the load only paying $50. It's probably a partial. So let's do the highest rate. If you do the highest rate, you're going to see about what your market has the potential to do. But if you go by age, this is something that I do when loads are flying off the shelf. You see it's 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. So they're not posting too often. Now it is 7 a.m. Central. And so a lot of postings probably aren't happening. So there you go. So the youngest load is 4 minutes. So apparently, not everybody wants to go to Jersey, especially for $1.60 a mile.
Mhm.
As you can see, they're not too far from the green screen's highest range, and they're not too far. This is about the probably won't get much leverage on this today, right? So, but you want to avoid California. There's some stuff that comes out of Sparks. Here's one going to West Palm Beach. Now, the Southeast is actually doing fairly good volume wise. The rates, I don't know what it looks like coming in and out of there, but I did notice that Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina had the highest volumes on both the low boards that I look at. Um, so keep that in mind because you probably have a pretty good time of going from say like Denver to South Georgia, North Florida, and then grabbing a shorty from there to the Carolinas, and then maybe grabbing that up to the Midwest if that's what you so desire. That might be a decent triangle right now. Um, if you find yourself in Denver. Now notice load no longer available. That load disappeared. When you start seeing these disappearing like crazy, that means the market woke up and people are booking. Now it's Friday. Friday mornings can be relentless and brutal. Loads will go quick. That was what was going on last Friday. It was amazing. It was absolutely astonishing to see. So, um, so so Josh, if you're coming out of Reno, or yeah, Reno, you've got. It's hard to not come out of California, but there's some stuff coming out of Sparks, but it's going into California. Here's Sparks to Dallas, but that's an older posted load. Epps Logistics. Let's see. And obviously they're having obviously that well, yeah. California, New Jersey seems to be the best paying lane on here. Here's you can go to Sasquatch. You can go to Canada. I can't even say that word. Saskatchewan. Sask. I wish Wilburn was in here. He can help me, or CDN. Saskatch. Forget it. Um, and then here's Fallon, Nevada to Harrison, Ohio. But again, that's an older posting. Let's take a look at that. Now, what CDN was referencing about the brokers. So I had a broker actually call me to make sure that our driver was allowed to book their own load, and then I had and then Jeff sent me a rate con and said, or he was sent a carrier packet request, and then he figured out that it was a double brokering scam, so he had to get rid of it. So I mean, that stuff's on fire. I mean that stuff is on fire, and people are on Facebook posting, "Oh, check out this load that I did. We're having trouble getting paid," and it shows a Gmail address for the broker with no credit score, and so it's bad enough we're dealing with the down market, but the scamming that's what's going to create a lot of problems. It's going to get to the point that people won't trust load posting, which is why a lot of brokers are creating apps or they're latching on to things like Trucker Tools or Truck Smarter because they don't want to deal with that. And if you're a one truck carrier, you got to do some steps. Put a freight guard where only your MC, your email can book a load with these brokers. Work with brokers that you trust, that you know, that email you instead of posting loads on the load board. So I mean that's there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with calling your CH rep or your Coyote rep and say, "Hey, keep me moving for the next month." There's nothing wrong with that. And there are people that will disagree with me, but the more phone calls you have to make, the more brokers you got to set up with, the more exposure and more risk that you have in a time that you can't afford exposure and risk. And I can't express how important that is right now because one lost day could throw your whole Can throw your whole week off. So keep that in mind as you're out there booking freight trying to get that extra $50 with no name Joe broker that's got a Gmail address. Keep that in mind. So, anyways, I'm done with my soapbox for now. For now. So, anyways, this ain't a bad load, but Ohio's taking a massive dump. Here's the thing with Ohio. Yesterday they had more loads going in than they had out. I've only seen that twice in the 6 years I've been fully in the spot market. So everybody got the memo and moved to the Midwest. So now you got to figure things out beyond that. Like I'd be struggling right now a little bit because I love running Ohio. Excuse me. So give me a second here. All right. TI Logistics or T2, however you say that. Um, Decent credit score, so that's good. So that might be one I would look into, but just know that Ohio market kind of sucks right now, but it might not by the time you get there. That's the problem with a lot of these analytics that all the charts show you is that it might be a good market now, but then a week from now, what's it going to look like? If it takes you a week to get out there, it could completely. I mean, things change by the minute, right? So, let's go back to the comments. Pigtail, thank you very much. This is where I say I told you so. Okay, now what? We can scream that how right everybody was, but does that help a person's situation now? Come up with solutions. Hey, the spot market tender rejections are the lowest they've ever been. And so what I want to do is I want to get on the low boards and show you how to minimize that, how to maximize your results. And I've always said that having relationships with brokers are important. It's hard to develop relationships with brokers if you're on YouTube bashing them, right? It's hard to do that if you're on Facebook bashing them. And it's bad enough that you got truck labor, truck costs, insurance costs, and all the things by having a single truck MC number. It's bad. You got so many cards stacked against you, and then you're going to sit there and boycott brokerages, especially the ones that have the biggest rate. That doesn't make sense to me. It's like when I was in a band, I would know other bands that would bash all the local promoters and then wonder why no one would give them a gig. It just blew my mind. It blows my mind. It's common sense, right? So yes, you can sit there and say I told you so, okay? But now let's come up with solutions, right? Because some people don't have a choice. Some people don't have the choice of doing what they're doing. So now what, right? I could sit there and say, don't go to Miami ever. Well, what if you live down there? We'll move. What if I'm taking care of my sick mom? I mean, blanket statements don't do any good. Okay, this is how you deal with the Miami market if you live there. This is how you deal with the Miami market if you want to utilize the money going in. How about that? Common sense, right? Take control of the things that you have the ability to have control over. And disregard the things that you don't have control over. And just because if you have a situation where you can see what the broker is making, just because you can see that, that doesn't mean that you can manipulate them into giving you what you want, because that's not how the game is played. Right? Shannon, good morning. Shannon's not complaining. Shannon's getting it done. DIY, good morning. I'll be there Saturday with a fresh clock Monday if I sit. Yeah. Mr. Charles, good morning. Saskatchewan. Oh, okay, Saskatchewan. Thank you, Shannon. Saskatchewan. I like that pigtail. I like that version better. Check your text and play the pronunciation for Saskatchewan. I think I got it now. Yeah, I had to revamp my whole week plan to recover a lost day and too much deadhead, have a way better load set for next week, more revenue, better rate per day and per mile, and less time between loads. There you go. You're figuring it out. And she keeps Jeff working with all the rate cons she's sending Jeff. Which is good. Jeff needs to work. Best advice I can suggest to owner operators and small carriers: first, find your top 5 brokers that you've booked loads with, which, side note, a TMS will help you with that. If not, a good old-fashioned pen and paper notebook will work just as well. Go visit or set up a Zoom meeting and solidify your relationship. Get off boards. Why does a guy feel this dying need to be right all the time, even at the cost of hurting someone else? DIY, that is ego, right? That is ego. Second, if you're a 1MC number or owner operator, study your carrier insurance policy front to back and list questions. I guarantee every policy has loopholes for big claims that you personally could be sued. Study. Narcissism, yes. Yeah. You know what narcissists do? They have mugs with their name on it, and they have T-shirts with their name on it, and then they proudly display them. That's what narcissists do. Along with the Gmail, I'm seeing Billy Bob broker posting on truck stop loads that are posted on UShip and Veritread. Yep, Dan's. I've seen that too. Hey, nice beard there. Bearded guys unite. Right. Acceleration rules. Wage slavery. There is no solution. Oh, there is. There is. Jackknife TV, man, I'm taking vacations, and apparently the whole trucking industry is tanking. Well, and Jackknife, what are you going to do about it? What can you do about it? Music City, me leaving Miami. Shannon, I'm going to stay moving. I'm going to battle through this. You will. You'll be all right. Wheelburner, good morning. We got the Canadians and the British in here. Stuart, what's up? 2 British people. Oh, my gosh. Pneumatic Brick, good to see you. How do you find Veritas and UShip easier to negotiate with the direct shippers that post their freight? Let's see. Everybody saying morning to each other. Fester, what's up, man? Just got downloaded Chat GPT to help me better in this industry. I'm ready for lots of my data. I'm reading lots of my data to it. Huh, that's interesting. You need a 5X Snorelord shirt? Well, it could be done. You got to find the one with the white logo. It's on Teespring. It's in the description of this channel. I bought a 4X. Because I like to wear 2 shirts because it helps conceal things like my fat and a firearm. But anyways, but let's look at. Speaking of which, let's look in the market, shall we? Load availability. Everybody needs a 5X Snorelord shirt. And you know who made the logo, right? Fester. Fester has a Christian death metal band with our old drummer from Apnea in it. Life Eternal. Check it out. Gee, Steve, how can you have a Christian death metal band? Well, they exist. They do. 20% inflation in everything: food, fuel, truck insurance, and you reduce wages. How exciting. Yeah, I know. Ain't it? Um, check us. No idea what you mean. AI can fight AI. CDN Freight Broker, the biggest problem are the clowns bidding to the bottom. I have made some contacts and on a repeat direct customer who buys equipment from Ritchie Brothers on the regular. Yeah, what was that show? Shipping Wars? Shipping Wars is what's kind of what's going on, except there's not a camera. Well, some people have a camera. They're posting it on YouTube or Facebook. Um, how low can you go until you can't move it anymore? Is what the name of the game is. So see, and this is Shane's approach, right? Shane Ferris says it is exciting. He's on Facebook, looking forward to the end of the purge. Now Shane has been successful. How long have you had your? How long has Green Miles been around? You've got what, 30 trucks now? He's based out of Springfield. He's a reefer company based out of Springfield. He does lease purchases. A lot of his guys succeed at those lease purchases. So September makes 10 years. That's what. So if the cycle is every 3 years, that's what? That's 3 cycles that you've been through. I've been through 2. Well, if you count, so I've been an owner operator since 2014. Now, the first year and a half was at Landstar, which part spot, part contract, and then I was at Schneider for 2, and took advantage of the contract stuff, and then I've been in the spot for 6, 5 if you only count the years I've been driving. So, um, I came in on a market that was starting to swing downward in 2018. Is when I came in. A lot of people were freaking out, and I was like high in the hog there. And then when January hit, a lot of people made a lot of moves. I just worked a little bit harder than I normally did, and and made it. So I feel you. Speaking of that, I saw the band Red. They were opening act for Alter Bridge when I saw them Tampa back in January. I'm not familiar with Red. Study the Great Depression to help you cope. History repeats itself. James G, that's a very, very, very good um, comment. Been in trucking since '99. Yeah, I got into trucking in 2008, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm excited for this challenge too, Shane. It hurts, yes, but it's only making me stronger. And Shannon is the representative of the direction that Like Trucking wants to go with the lease purchase, which is what Shane has been doing for a while. And so we're trying to expand in a down market, and it's amazing. We've had more applicants in the last month of people wanting to get into a truck than we've had all year with people with their own trucks. So there's money to be made still, and hopefully Shannon will prove a lot of you that you can have a new truck and still do well, because if you want more, be more. That's the title of today's video. You got to be more. You got to be better for yourself. You can change the world through yourself. Hey, look, only 45 minutes late. I'm working on it. Good morning, Don. What's up? When are you jumping in the truck? Well, I just had a phone call with a potential new dispatch yesterday, and then I think I'm picking up another one that's coming over here to like trucking. I think next week. So we'll see. We'll see. This trucking life. Good morning. You've been run. I've been running. um, Forrest Gump reference. That's true. Shannon was given 2 free weeks without a payment. Now Schneider Finance does the same thing, and you know what most drivers do? They go home. They sit for 2 weeks. Schneider does that on purpose. They go, "Hey, you got 2 free weeks." And so if you run your butt, they give you a week to learn, right? And then the next week is for you to get ahead, because they know, most people know, most companies know that you're going to have a week where you're not making any money. You might have a month that you're not making any money. And so as much as you can stack when you have the ability to stack, that is how you get through the dark times. And with all the money that we were making, in 21, that if a lot of people followed that philosophy and not went out and bought the new stuff, you might be having an easier time right now. Because I tell you what, there's some freedom to look at a low board and not let it stress you out. There's freedom in that. And it's people like, well, how can you run the spot market? It's so stressful. No, not if you set yourself up right. Do I have bad days? Yes. Do I call DIY and freak out a little bit on him? Yes. Does he call me every now and then and freak out on me? Not as much. But if I can keep my focus and realize the job in front of me that needs to be accomplished, then I find that my day goes better. Right? And that's kind of what you have to do. My cat agrees. I don't know if you can hear him in the background there. James She's been trucking since 91. Love being able to use Schneider's National Tire account. 10 new Michelins and only $7,761. Good deal. Where did all this positive energy come from? Fasting. Be very selective on who you bring on. Many desperate drivers cling into anything. You only want the ones who are applying because it's part of their plan. I agree with that wholeheartedly, Shane, and that's what we did with Shannon. Shannon has a plan. She's conveyed it on YouTube, and we thought that she was a great first candidate for this experimental process. I just thought about it, and quite possibly have the newest 2017 Pete 579 on the planet at the moment after only having it for 15 months. That's true. You probably do. Thank you, DIY, for keeping Snorelord from jumping from the bridge. Or the ledge, I'm sorry. There's more to life to be excited about than to be sad about, although I still got a headache from James and Wheelburner Stream. I watched a little bit of that. I made some smart-ass comments, but they go unnoticed when everybody's talking and yeah, so but cents per mile, about to walk in to renew my FedMed. Well, good luck. YouTube cat, yes, the YouTube cap strikes again. We hope other Shannon goes both ways. We do. I got to hang out with DIY and Paul for a little bit. That was great. Paul had some really great questions for me, and I hope I made a positive impression on him. And if I didn't, I want to know why I didn't, because I want to learn from that experience. Because I believe Paul's knowledge with sales and the brokerage stuff is valuable. So CDN has given me a lot of great valuable information with the um, with the broker stuff, and I've got this big manual to prove it. Whether I apply that or not is completely up to me, and I have to figure that out. So, trucking with T-Bone. Good morning. So, all right, let's take a look at this is all trailers. So let's go to Flatbed here. There's a lot of people on Facebook wanting to jump to Flatbed, and they don't even know what equipment they need, right? And so that shows me that there's not a whole lot of research. So with Flatbed being the only market that's not struggling as bad, um, that's fixing the shift, and there's going to be several things. Number one, you're going to have a lot of cargo claims because people aren't tying or strapping or chaining things down correctly. Number two, the DOT is going to do a full-on blitz and target more flatbed trucks, especially when you see some videos I've seen on the tubes and Facebook where people aren't even tying things down. And so there's going to be a bigger target on your back if you're a flatbedder. Number three, your market's going to get saturated with a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. They don't know anything about the equipment. They don't know how to price loads. They don't know how to do deliveries. They don't know how to, they're basically novices in a world that they think that they know. You know what that does? That makes your market value go down. And so if I was a flatbedder, I'd be very vigilant about about the entry fee of getting in there. I'd be like, look, you need this, this, and this, and this. And if you don't have any of these things, don't even think about it. Reefer people do that. You know what reefer people do? They go, yeah, man, cargo claims are horrible. Yeah, man, overnight receiving hours are horrible. Yeah, man, we're real seasonal with our produce and stuff. Just stay in van. You don't want any part of this. That's what they do. I study Zig Ziglar for my sales advice. I just finished a book by Ryan Mickler, and I'm getting ready to start a book that CDN sent me, a sales book, and I'm going to check it out. I started it, and it was very intriguing, but I wanted to finish another book first. We would never do that, says Shane. Flatbed mode is hard work. Shippers will try to push rates down. Claims go up. Rates will come back. It is hard work. And so what's going to happen is, like the people that went and jumped into flatbed last year, what they find is now they're working twice as hard for the same amount of money right now. In other words, it changes your mindset, right? And weekends become trickier in the flatbed world. I know that because a lot of shippers receivers aren't open on Fridays or Saturdays and Sundays. It's fairly easy to dispatch a flatbed truck. I've had the pleasure of doing 2 flatbed trucks for a while, and it was fairly easy. Post trip says I find those comments offensive and true. All right, speaking of reefer, let's take a look at your guys' crap. There we go. 48065 on the 123 low board. Check it out. If you want to look at this stuff yourself, look at that. Look at all the yellow going on around this West Coast stuff, or West Coast, Western stuff. This is West Coast. Let's take a look at Idaho. What's coming out of Idaho? Let's remove this comment here. Idaho Falls, Nampa, Caldwell. Here we go. Caldwell, Idaho to Oklahoma City. Fifth wheel freight picks up today at 11 a.m. So you got a couple of hours to get there. and they're at 42, which is right where it needs to be. Pallets of apples. Now, when I say it needs to be, so here's the thing. So Sage was talking about me yesterday in his live feed about, or no, maybe it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday, when he was using me as an example of me asking for 42 on a lane that was posted for 4. And that's what, that's what drivers tend to do. They ask for more. There's been times when I see a fair rate and I take it. And if I do ask for more, I can justify that. So if I go, hey, I know you got it posted for 4. Can we be around 42? Because I'm going to take a hit when I get to the receiver. Or the delivery time is kind of late, so that's going to put me in a bind. So, or, if you're going to the Northeast, I got toll cost and fuel costs that need to be up. So my costs per day, blah, blah. You can even get into the details. But when you get, like, we had somebody come over, they're going to do some siding for our garage. And I had him do an estimate. Now, I don't have the estimate yet, but he took his notes and all that. And he'll either itemize everything or he'll tell me a general. You can itemize to these brokers if you want. The majority of people don't. And so sorting through all that is key, right? Sorting through all that and knowing your costs, knowing what it takes. There's what you want it for, there's what you will do it for, and then there's what you need to do it for. Right? In other words, you have what you want, you're going to shoot for the moon and probably get hung up on. There's what you will do it for, which is what's your absolute lowest, and you never let the broker know what that is. And then what you will absolutely need to do it for, which is what's your cost? What is your profit margin needed on this load? Is it 1%, 5%, 10%? When a driver calls me out of the blue and says, "Hey, Steve, help me book a load. I'm going to be driving all day. I can't look at the load board." So I will call them. "Hey, there's a potential load doing this and this. What's your lowest?" And they'll just tell me. Now, how they come up with that number, that's completely on them. That's not my business. What is the lowest you'll do that for? Because they know that I get a percentage. So I'm going to ask for the highest amount I can get. But I'm also not going to ask for so high that I don't move the truck ever, because I've done that. I've made those mistakes. I did that at Landstar. That's why my Landstar experience wasn't as great as some other people, because I sat waiting for that magical, load during a freight recession, because I was spoiled when I first got the Landstar. So we all go through that, right? But if the load's only paying $1.40 a mile, but your costs are $1.80, you have to look at your load before and what your potential load is after, or look to see where you're at for the week, or look to see where you're at for the month to see if you can even do that. If a broker posts a load for 60 cents a mile and that doesn't even cover your cost of your fuel, are you going to do it? Probably not. And nor should you. And if that's all the market is offering, if every load in the United States was 60 cents a mile, then it's time to call it a day. Right? Because now we're being unreasonable. Now we're being unsustainable. Or park your truck part-time and then come back, because knowing that that's unsustainable, that allows you to realize, makes you look in the future, that eventually that will flip. Just like it did in 2020 during the shutdowns. That's the good news of all of this. Shade is looking forward to it, right? And that's the mindset that one needs to have in this market. And trust me, it's hard. There are days when I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? Those are my negative days. That's when I call DIY and he tells me, "Yeah, man, give it up." No, we help each other out. We joke about that though. I get a reefer before a flatbed. I would definitely not switch, but rather add. Now's not the time to make a gamble on a new equipment. That is true. Wait till you pull a skateboard and you miss a crane appointment. Yep, that costs money, right? Seattle, we can look at Seattle. Seattle for what? Van? Let's take a look at. We're in reefer right now. JoJo McHookster. Oh, that's a great troll name. I love it. Open freight can still be profitable if you have the correct platform and stay in the sweet spot of 100,000 pounds. um, you mean open deck freight? I always quote a non number like 4237. It makes people believe that you actually calculated the rate. There you go. Shane, I did that with TQL one day, and they had to get two other people to kind of tell me no, because that tweaked her whole script. Like she was like, yeah, I can't do any more than I think it was like 45, 63. Because looking at tolls and fuel and all that, that's where I'm at. So that's about the lowest I can go. And they're like, um, uh, hold on, let me get my supervisor. And then and then that guy's like, that guy comes out. He's like, he was a pro. He's like, yeah, man, 42, take it or leave it. All right, thank you for your time, and I didn't take it. Construction all over I-80. Cops are busy, real busy. Yep. Don't speed through those construction zones. If a carrier that I don't know just asks for more with no validation, I end the call. As a broker, I tell dispatchers you're trained to add 200 to 500 no matter what I say. I ask them to sell me, and they can't. Let that sink in. That's coming straight from a freight broker. So, with that being said, if I call a broker that I've not set up with before, oh yeah, I see that you're not set up with us. I usually don't ask for more money. Not without offering them something. I'll say something like, I know we haven't worked with you before, but um, we're an exceptional company. We do this. I'll give you check calls. We'll do this, this, and this. And it'll be great to set up with you and possibly do more loads with you. And I didn't price gouge them. And I know some of you are screaming at me right now through your phones, but that's how I operate, and it's worked. Having an understanding of the other team allows you so many more possibilities. There are times when that works. There are times when I'm in the trenches asking for that $100 and not getting it, just like everybody else is right now. But for the most part, I try to work with I try to have a good, like, I've got a good repertoire with my Arrive broker. I've got a good repertoire with my CH guy. That's my only complaint of TQL besides the different postings, is that it's hard to develop a repertoire with one person. However, if you find the one agent that's got the one account that you're coming out of all the time, you can do that. And that's the other reason why these brokers want you on their apps. They don't want you on the low boards because they want your algorithms. They want to know when you're empty. They want to know the location of your truck at all times. They want to know what kind of leverage they're going to have. They want to know um they want to know when you're going to be desperate. They want to know when you can help them. They can be excited that you're going to be in their area because they only trust you with that freight, and they don't want you to pay attention to the trends. If there's an uptick, they don't want you to know about that. And so it's important to know your worth, to know your price. If you want more, be more. I'm sorry, I'm fired up today. Just spilled my coffee, thanks. Well, get some more. Make some more. I did the same thing. I still have brokers emailing me like, no, man, I shut down my authority 5 months ago. Wow. DIY did a video about that. Not yours, but about how to shut down your authority. So this is reefer. So let's take a look at Washington. See what's coming out of the state, where it's going, what the rates are. Not bad. Wow. Quincy, Washington, Charlevoix, Michigan. They're at 5,000. One pick, 6 drops. There you go. All drops are in Michigan. Still, they're at 241 a mile, where the average is about $1.97. And look, it's not quite the highest there, but it's pretty dang close. Now, the other thing about a lot of Apple loads is that they're multi-stop on the shipping side as well, if that's what that is. And with this new feature that 123 has with this little box, the rate check, you can view it without having to even click on the load, which is good. Now, as you can see, this is Linden, Washington to Brookshire, Texas. I haven't figured it out yet, but they're not wanting to pay to go in or out of Texas. It's like the best paying loads are inside of Texas and staying in Texas. But if you're a one truck authority, it's hard for you to have that Texas interstate unless you live there. We have Texas interstate. They're at $1.79 for that. So you'd want to look at the rates coming out. So let's see. Let's scroll down here. Brookshire, Texas to anywhere. Let's take a look at that. Highest rate. They got 250 mile going from China Grove to Richmond. 215, $3,000. So and then we're now into the $1.60s. Dollar. There's a couple of 230s. Here's Houston to Little Rock, a good shorty. Little Rock's a good area. Russellville and the backwoods there all have like a lot of poultry that come out. I'll be curious to see if that dairy farm that blew up, if that affects rates on when you go to buy milk or beef. I believe they were dairy cows. I don't know if that makes a dent. I don't know anything about the dairy world. DIY might have an answer for that. And you can filter this to um, rate, right? So when you glance at a state, you can kind of see where the best paying loads. Here's one going to Maryland, Richland to New York. And it's hard. You're right. A lot of these loads were paying 7, 8 grand last year. And it's hard seeing this come down like that. That's a mental thing, man, right? But if you know your numbers and you know what your where your limits are mentally and financially, you get through it. And if you can't, figure out why you can't and fix it. If you want more, be more. Let's take a look at Michigan. Since that well-paying load ended up in Michigan, sort by rate. Why do you sort by rate first, Steve? Well, you want to see what a lane value is, what things are usually going for. I had a driver that wanted to go to Nevada. I said, that's probably not a good idea. So I looked at freight coming out of Pennsylvania going to Nevada. It was like the majority averages were not paying more than $2 a mile. Well, I looked at the rates coming out of Nevada and it was way worse. So it wasn't a good idea. It wasn't a good plan. So we didn't book it unless he absolutely had to be there, which he didn't have the hours anyways. I did the same thing. Okay, I already read that. John says, "Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Thank you. Know your worth. Next, I'm going to see you being an Uber driver. Oh, don't even go there. Don't even go there, Don. Somebody get that load to Michigan, and I'll pedal the stops. There you go. Once did 11 picks in Cali. It paid really well. Wow, that takes a lot of coordination. Our gas prices went up 30 cents in Michigan overnight. Ouch. That's the thing I've keep look, volumes are volumes, right? But I'm definitely keeping my eye on that fuel because that's going to put a lot of people out if that goes up considerably. 18,000 dairy cows. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So let me do this here. Let me shut that down. Let's go to the DAT board for fairness sake here. Log in here. I hope it's not down. It's Friday. There we go. All right. So this has been my favorite tool on the DAT board. It's the same tool as the 123. It's in a list form. So let's zoom that in. This is van load counts. Let's take a look at the usuals. Missouri's usually pretty good. 378 going in, 400 coming out, so it's pretty even. That's about normal. North Carolina, 759 to 644. So it went down from yesterday. Yesterday it was more coming out than going in. Jersey is more coming out than coming in. Ohio is not. Look at Ohio, 876 going in and 503 out. So if you're a van driver like myself who utilizes Ohio all the time, like myself, when I'm running my truck, it's kind of a shit show right now. Pardon my French. Look at Texas though, 2,047 going in, 2,844 coming out. So you might get a decent rate coming out. Maybe. I haven't researched it yet. I don't have anybody going in. Wisconsin, look at Wisconsin, 372 in, 355 out. That's another one that's usually more out than in. But I want you to take note of this. Out of all these states, there's only 3 states or 4 states with 4-digit numbers. California's got more out than coming in, so that's good. This is why they're not paying to go in. Florida, look at Florida here. This is van, 810 going in and 1405 coming out. So don't be afraid to ask for a decent number coming out of Florida. You may not have to deadhead. Now, will that equate to extraordinary rates? Right? Maybe, maybe not. But what that'll do is that'll soften that. Well, not soften, but it'll actually give you a little bit more leverage out of Atlanta or Southern Georgia. Look, Georgia's got 990 going in and 1508 coming out. So the Southeast is on fire right now. A lot of it's that nursery stuff. A lot of the reefers are running that temperature control stuff coming out. And so when you see numbers like that, you want to know why. Why is that? So you can capitalize on that. Everything else is 2 and 300s, people. and it's early yet. That's the thing. Usually you don't see these kind of numbers till the end of the day. So let's do reefer here. Put reefer and take out fan. California doing well. 611 in, 1355 out. Florida, same thing. 352 in, 1257 out. So a bigger ratio. Georgia's not bad. Look at that. 49, 73, 27. Oregon's got 121 coming out, 48 going in. Now, these are just loads posted on just the DAT board, okay? And again, like, when was the last time you saw C.H. Robinson on the DAT board? I don't hardly ever see their loads unless they're desperate to move it because they're doing it all through their app and their website. Texas, look at Texas, 783 in, 624 out. So Texas would not be a good spot for reefer in my book. Washington, 116 in, 256 out. So when we were looking at 123 low board, the rates kind of the posted rates kind of reflected that a little bit, didn't it? And this will change. This will change by the end of the day. This will change by Monday. Monday will be a completely different story. So let's go back to the cool low board. Yes, everybody runs south to get them good loads, says Chucky. Indiana had that place blow up with hazmat material. Yeah. I am considering canceling my DAT subscription and giving the 123 low board a try. Your thoughts? I think the sweet spot is Trucker's Edge on the DAT and the 123 low board with all the tools. I think that's the perfect combination. That's what I've used for 6 years, and it's worked well. I lied a little bit. There was about a 3-year period I did not use the 123 low board. Not because I hated the low board, but because I was saving pennies and I wasn't using it because I was barely using the DAT board because I was using my main 3 or 4 brokers. Rates were low, so I tightened the penny up a little bit, and but I recently reinstated it 2 years ago. I've been pretty happy with it. And I still pay for this. If you come to Like Trucking, we get a deeper discount. But I still pay for it. So it's not like I'm like getting paid. I mean, I do get paid to endorse it, but I actually use it, and I still pay for it. So essentially, it pays for itself with my endorsements. I'm not getting rich off this thing yet. I'm deadheading out of Florida as always. It's too low to pull. WCF, I did that. So too much of a gamble dumping dat. I'm dedicated would just be to fill in when my run cancels. Don't want to pay for both at once. That's how you're structured. Then yeah, do what you need to do. You know, if that saving that $70 a month or whatever you're paying, if you're paying for the big one, um, that's totally cost effective right now. So you can always call me and I can help you out. You know, my fee may not be as high as what you're paying monthly. So, but you'll be able to book something off of 123, no problem. And the brokers, and you can see their credits right there. So you can check with Thunder right there off the app. So, Bill, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's feed, or it made you think, or it made you mad, or it made you happy, or you're just indifferent and just wanted something to listen to. I appreciate every single person that's in this feed, both on Facebook and on the YouTubes. Strength for today, hope for tomorrow. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up. Let the replay play again. Just let it go. Just let it play. Get my watch time up there. Helps the algorithms. Helps get the message out. And I'm not in here complaining. I'm here trying to hopefully help people get things done, including myself. I'm constantly in a work in progress. And I hope that you are constantly a work in progress as well. With that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Aggression turns the screw. I don't know if I'll be live this weekend. If I do, it might be on the small channel. Subscribe to Snorelord OG and subscribe to Scorpion Trucker. He's in the or I put the link in the chat. And here you go. Peace.